down the hammer and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to the Savvy Radio Show. Learn from real-life real estate investors, experience revealed with the Savvy Landlord as your host.
What's going on, Savvy Investors? You tuned in again. All right, I'm proud. This might be your third time because it seems like it's a long time on one subject called goals. Yep. Hopefully this will be the last and final episode of goals. Remember, we're talking about setting goals changes you, makes you a better person, individual, society. Well, hey, welcome to the Savvy Radio Show. Let's get this on. So we've been talking about goals the last two episodes. I'm burned out. You got to be burned out, but it works. You need to review them every day. But setting goals separates reality from wishful thinking. Reality must be defined, right? I'm working on an awareness of myself, but you need to define your goals, define the various roles that you're going to play in this game of life. Setting goals makes you responsible for your own life. Define your system values. Again, this is all me right now, and I just think this needs to be you. You know, I had a homeboy call me today. Hey, should I pull out all the equity in this acquisition? He just got an appraisal back. He said, man, it appraised more than he thought. And, you know, I used to be, again, I've been in the game 23 years, maybe 24, maybe 25, somewhere around that time. And the way I think now is totally different than the way I thought before, right? So in the beginning, I need that cash, and I just try to walk the guy through the process. I'm like, it just depends. And I hate that answer. It just depends on where you're at and what you're doing and what's your goals. There's that word goals again, mother babe. How to breathe, because you've got to define those things for yourself. Is it advantageous for you to have a bunch of cash? So I was like, man, how much cash do you have in savings? And he said a number, and I was like, okay, that sounds a legitimate amount. It seems like you're good. My philosophy is, what am I going to do with that money? Can I make more money? Can I grow that? Do I need that money? And it was just funny because I'm in the middle of my own refinance, and I just left $1 million of equity in a transaction. But I can't do nothing with that money because there's no deals going on. I know there's some investors out there. Oh, you need to take the money. And, that's great. But what are you going to do with the money is the reality. And that boils down to your value system. You got to take responsibility. So not only what I tell you to do, right, it may be working for you at that moment, but it may not be the best thing for you if your goals are not in line. If you don't have this established now, you're going to constantly struggle with this. It's easy for me. But I know I struggle with the same question, and I'm not trying to beat up my homeboy, but I mean, like, the more money I make, the more taxes I make. And I even just had a meeting with my accountant, and I'm like, hey, should I leverage more? And it's just, you're going to pay taxes if you're super successful. Yes, can you defer it and buy bigger deals, and you're chasing your tail, and yes. But you're going to pay the piper somewhere. So it's a lifestyle decision. Can you handle the stress of the debt, or do you really need that debt? Are you paying on that debt for what reason? Are you maybe waiting for an opportunity? In my mind, I'm waiting for the market to crash, and it may never crash. I don't know. I got a crystal ball, but I know that I have enough skill set. I have enough backup funding privately. And also I work on my current relationships with my current bankers and massage my financial statements, and I'm aware of what I'm doing and my cash flow and my income to debt ratio and all that other jazz. So I don't have fear. I don't need to be driven by fear. I don't need to do things by fear. You need to do things with your goals in mind, and that they're strategic, and that you have a plan, and that plan is your goal. Goals serves as a criteria to sharpen your decision making. There you go. If my homeboy had goals, right, you would already. It's easy to make decisions. Decisions are always made in the light of some criteria or standard. Come on, somebody, come on. Can I get a honk on your horn? Say it's for the VC, VanCauwenbergh. Decisions are always made in the light of some criteria or standard. What is your standard? I'm telling you my standard. I don't know if I said this the other day. I'm working on this. I actually wrote this down. Where are my notes? I'm breathing all heavy. I'm on my desk. Can I find my notes? Come on, yes, I found them. Here they are. Real simple. I'm called to love, to serve, and to evangelize. Hey, that's kind of my purpose. But the only people I want to work with are entrepreneurs. I only want to do deals that have equity in them and they have residual income. Real simple. Those are my three things. My three things what I work on are entrepreneurs. I only want to work with entrepreneurs. Simple. That's the only people I want to hang out with. Number two, I'm not going to work on a deal at all unless there's an advantageous benefit for me in an equity position, hopefully passive, but I do work a lot. I'm very active in this game of life and real estate investing and acquisitions of businesses. And no matter what I do from this day forward, it's got to have some residual income effect into it somehow, somewhere. Now, that may be, work on a business and we may have an acquisition plan to sell, a disposition plan to sell this business, and it may yield me $100,000 or $1 million. But I calculate is what is my living expenses? Say I need to make $4,000 a month to live every month, or $10,000, whatever that number is. How many years can I live with that disposition? Okay. So personally, my purpose in life is to love folks, to serve them, and to be evangelistic, to share the gospel. That's kind of that's my purpose, right? Anything else outside of that, I always fail and crash and burn. So are my goals in line with love, serve? I do. I coach people. I love people. I serve. That's what this podcast is, serve and evangelistic. Hopefully you could, not evangelistic with my words, but with my actions. Is this dude living the life, right? Okay. But I only want to work with entrepreneurs. Like the guy that wants to come in and, hey, I want you to coach me so I can become a millionaire, and you're a technician. That's just not the guy. I want a guy that wants to write systems. He wants to run a better business for a better world. A true entrepreneur. That's the only people I want to work with. And if we want to partner together, what's the equity in the deal? Like my energy and my gifts, my talents, my tenure, all that stuff. What does it yield? And it's got to kick off residual income. Like if we're going to build this business together, homeboy or homegirl, it's got to yield for a long time. So it sharpens my decision making. Let's do that. Does it fit in there? Without defined standards, man, I learned this from my partner, my accounting partner, Bang Bang. Man, she's taught me so much about standards. Without defined standards, decisions will be made in terms of immediate pressure. That's my homeboy. He just calls me in a panic. Should I pull this out? And I know that he needs help, and I'm glad that I'm able to help him because I just love to serve people and I want him to succeed. But listen, get your goals on paper, get them down, and you have a criteria so you can make those decisions. They should be easier. And when you kind of made that decision, that's cool. You should run it by your homeboy and see how that lines up with you. All right, now let's get into the rules of the game of goals of life. The rules of the game, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Your goals must be your own personal goals. Now, you can adapt goals from somebody else. I love that. Like I stole the goal from my wife. She wanted to run a half marathon in every state, and I'm doing it. I'm excited. If you want to run together, I got some stuff going down. Mississippi's coming on my radar. Miami's coming up on my radar. Anybody want to run a half marathon with your boy? I'm down. Let me know. But they're your own personal goals, your own responsibility. You won't be motivated by someone else's goals. So remember that. Make them their own. You can adapt them. Oh, that sounds like a good goal. Like I have a goal to ride, and anyone who wants to do this together, I'm down. Like backpacking and camping on my bicycle. I know that sounds not dangerous in some regards, right? These crazy drivers, but it's just a goal that I have. It's just my own goal. I don't know. I just thought it would be fun. Now, after I spent all this time and energy preparing for this goal, it may be whack. That's okay. You got to strive for a goal. I'm healthy. I'm articulating what I need, what I have to pack, where I'm going to sleep. It's the process. Remember, it's the journey. It's the journey. State your goals in a positive way. What are they going to do for you? Okay. Develop mental pictures of what you want to accomplish. We know this. You've heard this 1,000 times. I'm fixing to do this class. If you want to, are you down? Let's do it. A vision board again. Hang out with some homeboys, homegirls, and do it. Do this yourself. Set up an opportunity to get together and push each other. And it's really cool to see someone else's vision board. Is really why, and some things are kind of weird on there, whatever, but it could inspire you. And that's the whole name of the game, the rules of the game of goal setting, inspiration, one another, and for yourself. Your mind cannot focus on negative images, only on positive. Your goals must be realistic. Your goals must require effort. Your goals must be obtainable. Come on. Come on. So hopefully that struck a chord in your goals must include personality changes. Like, are you going to be the same person? Can you manage a $100 million company? Maybe in your personality is now, but you may have to change that. Do you have the internal qualities necessary for the attainment of your goal? And what will it take? Like, I have a goal right now to do Kickstarter. If you've ever done Kickstarter, come on, somebody help me. But I had to push myself the other day. I'm like, Steven, I'm trying to outsource it. Yes, I love to outsource. I'm telling you, I have written a book on outsourcing. It's my favorite thing. I've made more millionaires teaching them how to outsource, how to leverage not only finances, but human capital. And I'm in my own little world I wanted to outsource Kickstarter, but then I just had to get an internal in a line. Steven, read a couple books before you hire somebody. And I was like, man, this is going to take me 6 hours. It's going to take me some time. When the reality is, you got to put the time in. Does it align with what you're doing to attain your goal? My goal is to reach people around this planet in a positive, inspiring way through this new project, this graphic novel I got coming out. And I want it on Kickstarter. This is something I try to delegate, and I'm going to try to delegate. But before I could delegate, I'm going to put the time in. How much time are you going to be willing to commit to it? Your goals must be written. You know that. Writing crystallizes the thought. Crystallization motivates you into action. Come on. These are reviews. Your goals must be specific. Again, define goals, produce definite results. Definite results. Specific goals aids in visualizing accomplishments and making it easier for you to reach. Reason number 1. Predictability. Many people feel threatened by change. They resist goal setting because it may be temporary, uncomfortable while moving from the rut to the higher plateau. I know I used to coach a bunch of people sex is sex. Oh yeah, we all need that, right? I mean, success is their demise. Come on. It's not your demise. Sometimes you got to just push yourself, and you got to really be aware of yourself. 2, goals is conditioning. We're conditioned people. After we have done something a certain way, it becomes a habit automatically or reflective. Therefore, the biggest threat to habit change is your current habit. So you got to replace that. Okay? Man, I'm telling you, I'm worn out. Now, here's some things that you need to be aware of. Goal setting is not hard work. Get that out of your head. Like, you need to just set it and do it. It's fun and exciting. It's fun planning and preparing. Like this whole bike trip I got going on. It's kind of fun. It's work. It stretches you to your capabilities. And you'd be surprised. After I do this 100-miler, what can I do next? It helps us identify and operate all of our areas. We're going over this stuff. I'm hammering this so hard so you get it. Goal setting gives you a feeling of success. It makes each day easier to live. A goal setting inspires those around. I'm telling you, my wife sees my goals and sees me working on them on a daily basis. It inspires her, and vice versa. I see her out there hustling and running, and I see it motivates me. It's contagious. The feeling comes from satisfaction of achieving success. Endorphins. Life is exciting when we are pursuing goals. I'm telling you, that would this number one thing we talked about it from like 2 episodes ago. It gets you out of depression. Okay, a man who pursues can expect to live up to 9 years longer than after retirement. People when they retire, goal setters just live longer. It's just a fact. Retire to some instead of from something to something. A new endeavor motivates a person with a new purpose. Deciding on a goal is the most important decision of your life. It's more damaging not to have a goal than it is not to reach a goal. The major cause of failure is a lack of well-defined purpose. A successful life doesn't happen by chance, but from a succession of successful days every day. Succession of successful days. Come on. Work with me. Identify your goals. Construct your dream list like I was working on 2032. Where I want to be living. Where am I going to be visiting? In the country, out of the country. What state? What am I driving? Where am I going? Who am I visiting? Who are my friends? Can I ride my bike? Include at least 100 items you want to have, to see, to do. And this is an old technique. When I first really worked with people on goal setting, I was like, you got to write out 100 goals. It was just murder for people. It just gets easier, but you got to start somewhere. Start with 10 today. Do 10 a day. Revisit that list frequently and make changes when necessary. I just love that. Prioritize your values. Put your areas of your life in order of their most importance. Social, spiritual, mental, physical, family, financial. Right? Priorities change and they must be revisited often. Write your goals. I've said this 100 times. Don't write general goals. Be specific on tangible and intangible desires. Make your goals as much as measurable as possible. I want to make this many calls on this day to yield this much stuff, whatever it is. Or I want to mail out this many postcards. Or I'm going to have this many reactions. I even set a goal for my Facebook, how many people I could have as friends. And now I'm just deleting those because they don't yield what I want them to yield. Of course, you know this from the beginning, short and long-term range. Come on. List possible obstacles for your goals. What could hold you back? People, resources. Provide 3 solutions for each obstacle. Actions to overcome them. What are those obstacles? Is it yourself? Define that. Break that. Maybe you need accountability partner. Come on. What's resources that you can dive into? Mine was YouTube on this Kickstarter. I went to YouTube, found a guy, started reading that. Then I went on to Udemy, and then I was like, then I went on to Audible, bought a book, and then I bought another book, and then I'm moving forward through those resources, which led into other resources, which motivated me. You feel me? Now at first I thought this Kickstarter was a daunting project. I don't want to do it. I wanted to give it away, outsource it. How much is it worth it for me? How can I find an intern? Can I find someone that has done this before? I have thought about even posting it on Facebook, and I just said, whoop, slow down, VanCauwenbergh. Take a breath, go through the material, and then really define what you want. Man, I think that's the biggest problem with society, defining exactly what you want, defining what the goal looks like. What is the end project? This graphic novel, I want it in prisons. I want to be able to give it into the inner city. How many copies will it take? How much per copy? I need these details. If someone's willing to believe in my vision and says, Stephen, I believe in what you're doing. I see that you're trying to help people with financial literacy. I see you're trying to help them with their goals. I'm willing to write you a $1,000 check. How many books will that get me? See, I failed because I'm not organized. I'm not prepared. That may be you. Take some time, start really defining them. And I learned from a young entrepreneur. Actually, I wouldn't call him an entrepreneur. A really good friend of mine. I was desperate. I'm doing this project. I reached out to him. And, he's like, just finish the project. Finish the details so you can really articulate what you're trying to do. I was like, man, you're right. Be sure you have one action solution you can do today to overcome any obstacle that you have. Mine was education. Mine was insecurity. Mine was lack of knowledge. Come on, you can do it. Set deadlines. The deadline for a goal is motivating. I got this much time to get it done. I know on my phone, I'm looking at my phone right now. It's like I have 8 days before I go on this 100-miler. What am I doing? How am I icing my knee down? What's my nutrition look like? How do I build that up? I have so many days for the leadership summit. It's 30 days away. Come on. What am I doing towards that? Deadlines will inspire you and stretch you into action. You will start being motivated because it's going to hit the fan if you don't get it going on. I love this part too, is like list personal rewards, like little rewards, like maybe a new t-shirt. Like say you lose 5 pounds in 1 week or 2 weeks. Let's a safe goal, 2.5 pounds. 2 pounds a week is natural. Let's just say you want to really push yourself. I can squeeze out another reduction of calorie intake. I'm going to set a goal for 2 weeks to lose 5 pounds and then reward yourself with a t-shirt. Now 20 pounds, you can kind of get a different size, but Maybe that's that shirt that you really want. Maybe it's a mountain bike shirt. Maybe you should give set a reward to bless somebody else. Like, hey, VanCauwenbergh, it's my birthday. Be creative. Be motivated. And also visualize that stuff. I print out this stuff. I have it on my phone right now. A goal that I'm striving for. Be sure your rewards and benefits outweigh your obstacles and roadblocks. What are you willing to sacrifice? Make sure it's worth it. Of course, talk to yourself. How many times have you listened? You might be new. This guy's crazy. I know. I hear you. Talk to yourself. Tell yourself affirmations. I love myself. I can do this. I'm getting better and better each and every way. It may sound silly, but you can do it. Use the 3 P's of affirmation: personal, pretense tense, present tense, and positive. The 3 P's. Visualize and can be mental. Your mind doesn't know, your subconscious doesn't know if it's real or fake, right? In some regards, but you got to get the visual element rolling in your mind. And this is the final point here. Thank goodness we're done with this deal, goal setting, because I can go on for days and days, but I know some people can't receive it. But here's the deal. You got to track it. And you got it like MyFitnessPal or my diet plan. I struggle with this because it's discipline. But I'm trying to be lean and machine, and I'm trying to orchestrate my calorie intake to it. So I'm at the optimum with weight reduction. And the only way how I got financially free is that I tracked every single dollar. Every dollar that went out, every dollar that comes in, I know exactly where it's going. Little army men, army women making more money. You got to do that with everything you do. Your staff, you got to track them. With your financial goals, you got to track them. You got to put the time in and track it. You build confidence. You know where you're at. I knew that I just had an extra snack before I got on the microphone, that I record that. Spend 5 minutes every day reviewing your goals. And you can do this. That's the name of the game. I want you to just text me your 3 goals. I don't care what it is. Write them down. Are they written down? Even if you want to be a superstar, take a picture of those 3 written down goals and send them to me. Be a better human. Be a better person. Be the best version of yourself. Is it possible? Absolutely. And I got convicted yesterday. I just had to confess this. It was a weekend and I'm all caught up. Well, of course, I'm never caught up, but at the moment, there wasn't something pressing. My kids were busy. I'm by myself. And so I was like, I indulged in a TV show that I watched like 20 years ago. And it was a really funny show. And I'm watching the show and I'm like, somewhat enjoying the show. But I'm like, is this what I really need to be doing? No. I have goals to attain. I have visions and dreams to write down. Why would I want to be numbing on a TV show? And I don't know if that's for you, but that's for me. I was like, man, what am I doing? I had to check myself. My flesh may want to watch this show, and I want to medicate, as some people are, decompress, as some other people would say. But is that going to get you to where you're going? I remember when I was starting out on my financial plan, every penny went towards an asset. I'm telling you, like, I wouldn't spend $1 unless I can make more money with it. Are you doing that with your time? And I'm telling you, I got convicted. No. Is this movie helping me? No. Am I tired and burned out? Yes. But can I do something that could reach my goal? Maybe even walk, maybe listen to an audiobook, maybe write somebody a letter, maybe text somebody, anything else in the world than laying around on a couch watching a TV show or watching a football game. Is that really going to obtain your goals for you? Now, I'm not trying to dog you. That's what you want to do. Hey, that's okay. That's your life. If you want to be the very best version of yourself, ask yourself, is this helping me bring me to the point, to the position, to the crossroads where I need to be? I hope this episode helps you. I'm glad we're done with the goals. I know that I've spoke 3 times in a row. You probably hating on me, but that's okay. There'll be other good podcasts coming. I appreciate you. Go to savvypodcast.com. Let me know your 3 goals. You can voice them. It'll be really rad. I can do a whole podcast just on everybody's goals. How cool would that be? How inspirational would that be? So let's start a revolution. Set your goals, write them down, share them with somebody. Go do it.
Thanks for listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at savvyradioshow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook and always be buying assets.